Hey, it's Chaya here with Naked, the Messy Middle. This is a series, for those of you who don't know, that I go naked, like emotionally naked, and literally talk about the stuff that we don't want to talk about, the messy middle that most people will never admit to. And today I want to talk about something that I can talk about really forever, and that's the aftermath of sexual abuse. When I say that, my heart starts to race. I am a sexual abuse survivor, sexual trauma survivor. Um, I I have been abused since I was a little girl, many times throughout the years, and over time I created this mentality of pretending it never happened, and I created a wall between reality and what I decided reality should be. And in time, I became really good at it. And as I grew older, um, you know, stories would happen and I would just kind of run from them and pretend they didn't happen. And I believed if I can pretend long enough they didn't happen, then they didn't happen. The only glitch in that system is that that's not how it works. That the reality is that your body, there's a book, The Body Keeps the Score. It's not a joke. It's real. Like anything you went through, if you were physically abused too, right? And someone choked you, and I know that, you will forever, until you work through it, you can feel the hands around your neck. And there are different there are different signs of that trauma, how it shows up when it's stuck in your body. Everybody's a little different, but the facts are that whatever you've been through, your body holds on to it. It has it. It's in it. And it's not there to hurt you. It's there so that you can heal it, so it doesn't happen again. See, the more I pretended it didn't happen, the more it happened. And it happened so gruesome and so sad that there would be times where I couldn't even pretend it didn't happen, but I just tried to anyway, and I just ran further and further and further. And I'm done running. I'm up to the facing part. I'm up to the part where I'm facing the reality, as painful as it is, and recognizing that other people acting the way they did had nothing to do with me. That was their choice. And that I never deserved it. That there is nothing in the world you can do to provoke that. Sexual abuse is something no one can provoke and deserve. It doesn't work that way. You can provoke it, but you don't deserve it. So, growing up, I lived this perfect life because I put all the abuse of every type, all the neglect in this like box, and then I imagined it going down, down, down into the water, never to be seen again. And for years in my teenage and adulthood, I didn't understand why I was getting so badly abused and why I was attracting such bad people. And to be really, really honest, I wasn't willing to go back. I wasn't willing to go to my childhood and see what really happened, until it got to the point where I couldn't anymore. And I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure out where to go naked, because there's so many stories and there's so much, and there's so much I don't feel comfortable sharing yet, but at the same time I want to. And yet I want to make sure I feel safe as I share, because otherwise there's no point. I'm not here to teach you that. I'm here, I want to show you that it's possible to open up the door and speak openly about something that's so horrific and so painful. But I'm not here to show you how to do it in an unsafe way. So I'm going to start off with the aftermath, as I said, and we'll go back at some point a little bit at a time, and I'll share openly about each and every story. But the aftermath is painful. See, I'm in a great relationship now, and what I can tell you is there are moments where in my head he becomes my abusers. Thank God, I've become conscious of it, but where I look at him and I'm like, oh my God, when is he going to take advantage of me? When is he going to, he's only here for one thing. We know that. Like, he's going to do this and that and the other. And it's like, it replays itself. My brain is trying to protect me. So the hippocampus, which is where all the memories are stored, keeps sending me these messages, these memories of different times. And sometimes I don't even remember them, but all I know is that suddenly he becomes a predator to me, and I'm like, I should really run. Like, I should really run. Why am I still here? And that's one of the biggest aftermaths that I want to explore right now with you, because I feel like there's not that much content on this out there. No one really talks about it. I mean, people do, but I haven't seen it like been exposed fully. If you've been through trauma, when you're going to be with the people who will be able to get the closest to you, the people you love the most, when you're going to be with the people who make you feel the safest, all the other times are going to come up, and they're really going to come up. They're going to come up so strongly that you might even think that this person who's making you feel safe is the reason you're remembering all this, that they're actually unsafe. But really what's happening is, for the first time, you're finally safe. And all the times you weren't are coming up to ask of you, please take care of us. I was so scared. Growing up, throughout my teenagehood, I was so scared. I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop, because it always would. Because I actually didn't get the proper help I needed to understand and to realign with myself and recognize that because it was my past doesn't mean it has to be my future. But if I don't change something because it was my past, it will be my future. That's how it works. You want the truth? The hard truth? Whatever your past is, if you are on autopilot, it will be your future. That hurts, but that's true. Haven't you seen it the last few years? You might not be on autopilot. Probably you're not. If you're watching this, you're probably not. But it's hard work to change your past and make it a different future. To change your perception on your past so your future can be different. You see, as long as I looked at my past and I said, wow, what a victim I am. What a victim I was. Like, how many times I got hurt. How many times people took advantage of me. The more I looked at it like that, and the more I ran from it, the more I felt like I was just going to keep running all my life. And guess what? As long as I saw my past as a thing to run from, that's what my present was. I kept running. I could never settle. I could never find calm within myself. But as I started to look at my past and recognize it's painful. So let's sit in that pain for a minute. Let's give some room for grief, some room for fear, some room for that helpless feeling that you used to feel, but you're not helpless anymore. The more room I gave for the feelings that came up when I thought about my past, the more I found this new way of life. I found, hey, I can also have joy. There were moments of joy in my past that gave me the way to survive. They were my lifeline. The biggest aftermath is that we don't trust any level. If you're here, you're probably a trauma survivor. And I know that might send shivers down your spine. But the truth is, if you're a trauma survivor, it may be really hard for you to trust again. And I'm not here to tell you just trust. I'm here to tell you, take a deep, good look inside. Are there people that you could trust that you're not trusting? Are there people you could let in but you're not letting in? Can it be that it's because you're past and how many times you got hurt and you're too afraid to let them in again and get hurt again? If the answer is yes to that, then here we go. Get started. Start by looking inside, recognizing that. And when you recognize that, you did half the work already. The other half is very hard too, but you did half the work. And you started that new space of, oh my God, it's not all them. It's actually probably me. And it's not even me. It's the people who hurt me. And you know what? When I do get scared off, I communicate that. I communicate it to my man. I communicate it to my friends. I say, you know, right now, you know what's coming up for me? I don't know why, you're becoming my mom. I'm projecting my mom on you. I'm projecting my dad on you. I'm projecting this person. I'm having a really hard time. I feel like I'm doing transference. These are all big words that if you watch my previous videos, I'm sure you've seen. But even if not, look at yourself. Take a good deep look. Because I see you. And I know how hard it is to trust again. But do you want to live the rest of your life running? Do you want to live the rest of your life recreating what was? If you are working on yourself, which you definitely are, then I'm here to remind you, work at the core. Start at the inside. Recognize the pain that was created and make room for it so that eventually it can actually leave and you can have room for something else, something beautiful, something that you don't think is possible right now. Even if you think it is, you don't. As long as you can't trust others, you don't trust that it's possible for you to have that dream that you're dreaming of. That's the way it works. So, our time's up. Like and subscribe. You know the drill. I'll see you soon.